Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And guess what? Your girl is finally back with another movie review. I know, it took me long enough, right? Well, it was the summertime. A girl was busy. I had things to do, so that's where I've been. I had to have a little bit of a break. That doesn't mean I didn't see movies though. I actually saw like Toy Story and things like that. But and they were great. I just didn't find the time to pull myself away from everything else I was doing and make a review for you guys. But I decided what better video to come back with than Hustlers, okay? Now I like to have a girl power moment. So I was like, let me see if that's the vibe that this movie is giving me. So I had to go check it out. Okay, so let's get right into it. The groove time. So the groove time for me was, I'd say within the first 10 to 15 minutes, I was like, okay, it seems like I can rock with this movie. I saw Jennifer Lopez promoting the movie on a few different shows, and everyone would say, oh, well, that opening scene when we first see you, that dance that you're doing and everything, they were raving about it. And that just immediately made me think that was like how the movie was just gonna start, with like her doing this dance or something like that. And it took a few minutes, so I was surprised by that. Which brings me right on into my next category, surprises. Okay, the first thing that surprised me was the fact that I read on TMZ and actually watched a little video. The character that she's portraying, well, that it's inspired by, TMZ ran into her and they were having a conversation with her, and she basically said that she didn't like the fact that she didn't really sign over her rights for the movie. She felt like they were offering her stuff that was too, the amount that they were trying to offer her was insulting. She said that she had Hermes bags that cost more than what they wanted to offer her. So all kinds of stuff like that. Now, I got a little nervous about that because I was like, well, hold up now. How well is she really going to portray this character if it's inspired by a real person and you don't connect with the real person? In acting, you usually want to connect with the real person in some type of way, whether it be them or their family, just so that you can really dig deep into the character and know how to portray them in the best way possible. So that was a little scary for me because she was like, oh, she didn't really have my mannerisms down. And then the one thing that I was like, oh, gee, she said that there's a scene in the movie where she's cooking drugs in the kitchen with her daughter, and I would never do something like that. Basically saying that, that's not her character, and she couldn't believe that J-Lo would portray somebody like that. And I was thinking to myself, okay, now, J-Lo is a mom, so I was just like, okay, would she really be falsely portraying this woman like this and portraying someone who'd be cooking drugs in front of their daughter and stuff like that? So what surprised me when I got to the theater was the fact that, okay, I never even saw that. Okay, yeah, there were some scenes where she was cooking some drugs in a kitchen, but she wasn't with her daughter. So, which leads me to believe that while this lady, that may be her truth, she may feel like she wasn't portrayed exactly how she is. I just feel like she might be going more on hearsay versus having sat down and actually watched the whole film herself, because if anybody watches it, you're going to clearly know that that's not her daughter that she's in the kitchen cooking drugs with. Now, I hate if that's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's probably not, because like I said, she's doing interviews with TMZ and people like that talking about it, so it is what it is, okay? Now, and then one thing you have to know too is, if you're going to make a movie at the end of the day, yes, they want to tell someone's story, but it's Hollywood, okay? They want the audience to be entertained. Like, most people's life story isn't gonna be quite as good and jazzed up as it is in the theater. So, they're gonna embellish a little bit. So I'm not really gonna fault them for that. Another thing that surprised me in the film was I was actually shocked by the fact that I didn't mind Keke Palmer's character in the film, like, in a sense to where I'm so used to her playing, younger roles, and it's like you've grown up with her. So, sometimes you can get stuck in that, okay, you are a kid star type of role. And I feel like she actually pulled this off and seemed like, okay, the adult that she is in the film. And I wasn't mad at it. And I was like, okay, Keke, I see you being all grown and things. So I was surprised by that. And I was also surprised by just a few, of the ins and outs that were going on in this strip club that they worked at. And, I feel like the storyline itself was surprising. I don't feel like it would be surprising to everyone, just because if you dibble and dabble in that type of thing, if you've been to strip clubs or you are really close with people who work in strip clubs or are strippers or something like that, then you might be hip to the type of games that are played at the strip club, and it might not be that surprising. But for some of us, some of the things that were going on, I was like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. So, it's a few things in there depending on, like I said, how familiar you are with the strip clubs. Some of those things might surprise you, okay? Now, as for the predictable ending, I feel like if you are the type of person who did your homework as far as this lady and her life and all of that beforehand, then of course it's going to be predictable to you because you basically know what's going to happen. So, but if you're like me, and like I said, you watched a few people promote the film or whatever, you don't really know exactly what's going to happen at the end. So for me, it wasn't really predictable. I just really enjoyed the movie, in a sense to where it was almost just, just like a good film to just go and see. It wasn't anything that was like overly exciting or anything like that. It was just like a really good story that was told, and I feel like the cast did a great job. It was just a good film. So, I mean, it's worth going to see it. As far as the movie watch category, I feel like this one, there's definitely some nudity, some things like that in it. So you don't want to bring like your little kids to watch it. But I feel like, honestly, if you have a teenager or somebody who's at least 16, 17 years old, shoot, the way these kids are these days, maybe like 15. I feel like they can watch it just because, I mean, it's life, it's things that happen. And once they get in those teenage years, it might do them some good to see the reality of what's out there, like what's going on out there. Because a lot of people look at strippers and strip clubs and they think like, oh, well, it's just easy. Like anybody can just, be a stripper or something like that. But like, honestly, I watch this and I'm like, they have to put in some work. Like, it's not just the easiest thing to do. And I feel like, no, everyone cannot just be a stripper. So, there's a little bit of talent that has to go in there. But like I said, I feel like it'll be good for teens to watch because they will get to see the type of life that's going on in that type of circle and realize that, look, it is not just about what you see on the surface, okay? There's a whole lot more going on the inside, and that might help them making some decisions in life as they get a little bit older or as they're teenagers, okay? So definitely you can bring your teens. It's okay for a date. I actually went with my husband to see it and we both enjoyed the movie. you know, at first he was kind of questioning, like, okay, is this just gonna be like another stripper movie to where, you know, it's basically the same old story? But he actually found this one like pretty entertaining, as far as like the storyline itself was interesting enough to keep you up and awake and, you know, into it. Like I said, you're not gonna just be, I don't know, at the edge of your seat, you know, in suspense or anything like that, but it's a good watch. So with that being said, we're going to go to my popcorn size, and honestly, I feel like I'm going to give it a medium popcorn. And I'll give it a medium because, like I said, I feel like it was good. The acting was good. I feel like they all did a good job in the film. You know, there were some cameos that popped up in there, and you were like, oh, you in this and you in this, and you know, it was just good. So I feel like a medium popcorn is well deserving. You get a medium popcorn. You know, just sit back, relax, and enjoy your time at the theater. It's definitely one that you're gonna watch, and it's not like you're gonna be like, oh, I wish I hadn't spent my money on that. Not the case at all. So like I said, it wasn't, you know, just a ton of suspense or anything like that for me. I think I kind of like that sort of thing. So, you know, medium is definitely the way that I'm going to go. And I feel like, hey, it's getting a lot of good buzz. If you didn't watch it opening weekend, that's fine. There is still plenty of time for you to go and watch it. Okay? Plenty of time to go and watch it. And like I said, it's a medium. It's actually one of those things to where it's like whenever you get a chance to watch it, just go ahead and watch it and just, you know, enjoy it. So, oh, and another thing about it was I found that even though it's almost 2 hours long, the storyline was interesting enough for you to not just feel like, oh my gosh, this is dragging, it's taking too long. Like, none of that was really going on for me. I guess with the exception of one scene. There is one scene to where it's like the holidays, not to give too much away, but I just felt like it was probably like 2 to 3 minutes longer than I would have liked, but it still wasn't bad. So it was like, okay, I get it. It's the holiday. Basically. Oh, it's just so bad when I can't really tell you what happens in the movie, so it's kind of hard to express like what about it kind of drags it out. But with the exception of that one scene, honestly, I felt like I didn't really notice the time itself. You know, it felt like it went by pretty quick. So medium popcorn, good job, you guys. And yeah, go out and see it. And like always, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. The summer is over and your girl is back, okay? So the videos will keep on coming. I have some other stuff coming on this channel, and it's just gonna be a good time. So make sure you subscribe, turn on those notifications so you can know when I'm coming, okay? All right, you guys, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.